FPL Game Week 1 deadline is fast approaching and I'm ready to lock in my Game Week 1 team. I will be answering all comments on this video within 24 hours of it going live. Help me get it to 1,000 likes and subscribe as well, so close to the big 40k milestone. Let's get into it. Now this team gets a 97% rating on Fantasy Football Hub. Get your own team rated for free using the link in the description to this video. Starting off then between the sticks, and there has been some changes here. I was contemplating bench boosting for game week 1, but Martin Dubravka is a doubt minutes-wise. Mark Gue is a doubt minutes-wise. They remain on my bench, but I'm not confident enough to plan for that bench boost in game week 1. So I've put that off the table now. I'll focus on using that in a later date when my team feels well set up for it. But I have changed goalkeepers. I've had Sanchez in every draft so far, but it's Matt Sells that comes in as the goalkeeper in this final team. I got cold feet on Sanchez. We know that Chelsea have been linked to a number of goalkeepers in the transfer window. Colwill injury is a massive loss to their defence, so I just wasn't feeling it anymore. So I've gone with Sells instead, especially because I wasn't worried about trying to rotate with Dubravka anymore. I feel like Nottingham Forest have got great clean sheet potential over the opening few game weeks with some really nice fixtures. The downside is that probably the gap between Sells and Neco Williams in the defence is probably wider than it would have been previously, just because of the introduction of the defensive contribution points for attacking players. But I've still got a slice of that Nottingham Forest defence at 5 million, which feels like a good place to be. Moving into the defence then, and as you'll see, I'm still in the same structure here with Esteve, the 4 million defender, on my bench as the 5th defender. I've actually swapped things around a little bit. Konza comes into the 11 now for Newcastle at home in game week 1. Van der Ven keeps his space as well. I think Spurs are a good team to target for clean sheet potential in game week 1 with that home game against Burnley. And there's a really nice rotation as well between Spurs, Crystal Palace and Burnley. So that's why I've got that Van der Ven, Richards and Esteve rotation. Looking at other rotations and keeping things budget in my defence, which is a really bold decision, but just wait till you see the attack. I have gone with West Ham newcomer Juve, who is playing as left wing back. He's actually listed on the West Ham website as a midfielder, 4.5 million. He's got Sunderland away in game week 1, which is a really tasty fixture, and he rotates really nicely most weeks with Konza. So I've got 4.5 million defenders, 4 million defender. No Nottingham Forest defender, but I do have Sells. I have moved away from the Liverpool defence as well because I was unimpressed by their defensive performance in the Community Shield. I feel like we might see a different vibe from this Liverpool team for this season, more attacking, less defending, and that's made me ditch Van Dijk and move funds further forward. Into the midfield then, and there's some familiar faces from the draft that I previously shared. Mo Salah going nowhere, has been in every draft this pre-season. I know his performance in the Community Shield was shaky, has put some managers off. I'm celebrating now. The more differential Salah is at the start of the season, the better. He broke the record last season as being the best player in the game ever. I can't see that changing in this campaign. We've also got Cole Palmer, who I'm very excited to own after a very good summer for him. Chelsea have got great attacking fixtures. And Bruno Fernandes, I am indulging myself as a Manchester United fan. I'm feeling very optimistic after a very positive transfer window for Manchester United, so he keeps his place. I think his routes to points have just increased this season, given that he's got better personnel around him. I can see them winning more penalties. I also think he's going to get those defensive contribution points as well. A lot of managers are toying at the moment. Do you go Fernandes? Do you go with Verse and save the 0.5? I've actually gone with both. When I say this attack is stacked, you can see why the defence is a little bit weaker. But yeah, Florian Wirtz is in as well. Again, really impressed with his performance in the Community Shield. It was the 4th midfield spot, which was really the one I was least confident in on the last draft I shared. I had Tielemans in there, who I still think will be good value at 6. He just wasn't really inspiring me or exciting me, whereas Wirtz, I think, could be gold for Liverpool this season. I think his assist potential is really, really high, especially because he's on corners as well, and he will arrive late into the box and get some goals as well. Now, my last few drafts, I've had in my midfield Nottingham Forest, Elliot Anderson, 5.5 million. I still think he's a solid pick, but again, he doesn't get me excited, and my head has been turned by a player I hadn't even considered until 4 days ago, and that is Reinders at Manchester City. 5.5 million midfielder. He is going to be a starter under Pep this season. Definitely more nailed in the first few game weeks because Kovacic and Rodri are out. Whether he plays 6 or 8, we don't know. At 6, he will hoover up the defensive contribution points. At 8, he is going to be arriving late into the box, potentially getting some goals and assists, as we've seen him do in pre-season. So he comes in for Anderson to chase the upside. He is a more exciting pick than Anderson, just about, and it's nice to have a City player in this lineup for the start of the season. Obviously, he's not going to cover Haaland. There's no way that's going to happen, but I just feel happier logging in and seeing my team with a City player in there. Let's have a look at the forward line then, and it is stacked once again. Ollie Watkins was in my previous draft. He keeps his space. I think Aston Villa, fantastic long-term fixtures. Watkins feels like the nailed route. Morgan Rogers was in my early drafts and a big favourite. We are still waiting for an injury update on him. That will come on Friday, where I will be streaming for the press conferences. So make sure you've hit the notify button to let you know when I go live. But yeah, it is Watkins that does get the nod in this team. I'd rather not start the season with Rodgers if there is a little bit of doubt on his fitness. I think Watkins can be a very good pick though. He's been in red hot form in pre-season and a chance he picks up penalties. I have made another change. Chris Wood had been in every single draft, but João Pedro gets the nod come the game week 1 deadline. Both the same price. Wood overperformed last season. He is getting older. Nottingham Forest overperformed last season. João Pedro, since he's joined Chelsea, 5 goals in 5 starts. He's not going to get masses and masses of minutes, especially with Delap waiting in the wings, but I just cannot ignore his form, whereas Nottingham Forest have really struggled to score any goals in pre-season. So with the ownership thing as well, I am just going to give João Pedro the nod, but it's a very good price point to cover when you've got the likes of Mateta and Solanke also at this price point that could come in. But João Pedro feels like the more exciting pick to start the season. Now, when it comes to captaincy, there is only one man that deserves that accolade, and it is Mo Salah. He has never blanked for Liverpool in a game week 1 fixture, averaging 12.25 points per game. Bournemouth's defence is threadbare. They've lost so many key personnel in this transfer window, so it is Salah captain and Palmer vice captain. It is Salah with the highest predicted points of any player for game week 1 over on Fantasy Football Hub. I do have a recommended transfer for this 97% rated team, and that is to move Konza to Mark Gay. Now, I feel like that is a tempting pick, but the downside is I don't want to be doubled up on the Palace defence. Obviously, Gay could move in this transfer window, in which case he becomes a more exciting option. But I think at the moment, with Villa's long-term fixtures, it'll just be nice to have Konza as an option for me most weeks in that rotation as things stand. Midweek fixtures for Palace, and I think that Chris Richards is arguably the better pick in that Palace defence at the moment with the introduction of the defensive contribution points. But 97% rated, that's the highest it's been for me all pre-season. Remember, you can get your team rated for free using the link in the description to this video, and you should be locking in these teams because the reliability of the FPL website has been very poor in the last 24 hours. If you do need to tinker and you can't get on site, join as a Fantasy Football Hub member. You can tinker all you like on the My Team tool, and remember, if you don't win your mini league, they will refund you your membership. Fantastic offer. Terms and conditions apply. The link for that is in the description as well. What do you think to my team then? Let me know in the comments. Remember, I will be responding to all of them within 24 hours of this video going live. Let's get it to 1,000 likes. Get me over the line to 40,000 subscribers and hit that notify bell. There will be a press conference stream on Friday. You may get a bonus stream on Thursday as well, depending what presses we have. Haven't got the information yet, so keep an eye out for that one as well. Thank you for watching.